Hey, what's up, guys? So, welcome to my YouTube channel today. And I'm 36 years old. I've been teaching Japanese for 7 years, and my strength is only to communicate with people, with anyone in the world. And this is the reason I really wanted to learn many languages in my life. That's the reason I left Japan and I learned English, I'm learning Greek, and I'm learning German this year. And I really like to communicate with people. That's why, okay, let's start YouTube channel because I can meet anyone in the world. It's gonna be a long term. Maybe I can meet a lot of people, maybe, if I become famous. Anyway, so I've been teaching Japanese for 7 years, and also I live in Europe for 7 years. I met hundred of international couples, like Japanese with American, Japanese with Greek, Japanese with French, Japanese with British, Japanese with Italian, like a lot of international couples. Then so many actually people say, yeah, my husband can't understand Japanese. My husband is Japanese, but I cannot understand any Japanese for 12 years of this marriage life. Or, yeah, my actually wife is Japanese. I have children. My children can understand the English. My children can understand, of course, Japanese. And only I, as a father, cannot understand any Japanese. I'm speaking only English. Whenever we go out, yes, all friends is Japanese, and my wife is talking, my children is talking. I cannot understand anything. It's so many people actually have this problem, which is like frustration, right? Because everybody's speaking Japanese, and I am the only one cannot understand Japanese. Like, even maybe they're talking about bad about you, maybe. He cannot understand. I don't think so. But even these things, you cannot understand. Like, as a father, as a maybe mother, cannot understand what's going on to my children, or my wife friends or my husband friends, and then like really loneliness, right? Then the frustration, and it's really uncomfortable because only you cannot understand what they're talking about. And this, if you don't learn, it's going to be kind of forever, your entire life, what the family is talking, what your partner is talking, you cannot understand your entire life. I really cannot accept. I cannot accept. If this has happened to me, I cannot accept. That's why I learn, 4 languages, because it's just unacceptable in my life. My partner or my family, I cannot understand what they're talking. Rest of my life, no. So today, actually, I want to share from my experience, because I have met so much couples the same problem, and what I actually give the advice to them. So I'm gonna share today. So first things is, you are the maybe monolingual, which is your native English speaker, but it's only one actual language you can speak fluently. And then your partner or your family is maybe bilingual or multilingual. So let's say really common case is you're American and your wife is Japanese, and your wife can speak English and Japanese. And then because you have children or other family, also they can actually speak Japanese and English. And in this case, when they start speaking Japanese, you cannot understand. So what should you do? Actually, so many people expect, oh, my wife is Japanese, she doesn't want to teach me Japanese. But my answer is obviously, of course, no. She doesn't want to teach you, teacher. Try imagine you actually forced to your partner teach me something, first of all, it's gonna be too much work. It's like let's say your partner is doctor and I wanna be a doctor, but I don't know anything about doctor. Teach me everything to be a doctor. Try imagine, it's impossible. So many things this partner need to teach you to be a doctor. Like Japanese language, one of the most difficult language in the world. If you're a native English speaker, learning Spanish or learning Japanese, there's no comparison. Learning Japanese is 10 times harder than learning Spanish as a native English speaker. Such a difficult things. My partner is native Japanese. Teach me one of the most difficult language in the world. It's native speaker doesn't mean I'm good at teaching my language. A lot of people actually don't know what is my native language. I've never thought about what is my language grammar. I don't know how to conjugate exactly. How to actually change the verb, adjective, everything to explain one of the most difficult language, is very difficult anyway. And then anyway, your partner is working, maybe has a children. You cannot force to the partner to teach me one of the most difficult language, like teach me become a doctor, teach me become a professional football player because my partner is professional. It's just impossible. That's why please learn outside of your family, because family time is family time. The time with your partner is partner. It must be something amazing. No one want to be a strict coach to the partner. No, why you didn't learn? Why you don't remember? Being strict is good. If, let's say I want to be a professional singer, my coach must be really strict to me. If my coach is really, really kind or doesn't care even if I make mistake, I cannot be professional, right? So always the coach must be really strict. You didn't actually learn, you actually said something really wrong, this is rude, this is polite. Being strict is always good if you really want to improve, So that's why having the strict coach is very, good. But you cannot force your partner to be really strict. But your coach must be really strict to actually really improve. That's why please learn if you really want to learn, right? Because usually your partner doesn't matter if you actually learn Japanese or not learn Japanese. It doesn't matter, You are a partner because it's not this, Japanese language or something. It's because you like each other. That's why you're here, with your partner. And your partner doesn't matter, you actually learn Japanese or not learn Japanese, and English speaking is totally fine. I don't want to get tired with something new knowledge. I have to teach something. I'm so tired. No, it's okay. But inside of, the partner, of course, they have small, kind of desire that if, you really want to learn Japanese, you make effort. And if you really make a progress, of course, around all your family will be really appreciated, of course. Because I have met a lot of international couples, and I understand, when the husband or wife cannot really understand what is Japanese language, it's something, it's a little kind of barrier that it's cannot understand 100% each other, because its culture is such a different, and when you don't really understand anything about your wife is talking, your husband is talking in Japanese, or you understand everything, it's very different actually. So you can build a much better relationship. At some point, of course, he don't understand anything because he doesn't understand Japanese. It's okay, I can speak English for him or her. It's okay. You don't have problem. But if you really understand, you can build a much strong, the relationship. But if you want to learn Japanese, one of the most difficult language, you need to make an effort and you need to learn outside of your family because you cannot actually be strict environment actually to really improve, seriously. Because Japanese language is difficult. You really need to be strict about yourself, about your improvement, So, and also the second thing is you really want to exercise, you really want to do the speaking training to communicate really fluently. You need a training, right? You need a conversational training, Then, who is the best partner to actually really exercise is monolingual person, which is you can do the perfect exercise if you find the person who cannot speak English at all, which is native Japanese who cannot speak English, who can speak only Japanese. Otherwise, you always avoid the making mistake or easily you actually switch the language to English. Oh, I don't know Japanese. Okay, let's speak English because this person understands English. Okay, you cannot do amazing exercises with the bilingual person. You are monolingual right now and you want to be a bilingual, right? But this person is already bilingual. This bilingual person doesn't have so much patience to actually, force you to speak only Japanese. Oh, if you don't understand, I can explain to you in English. I can actually switch the language, tak. But you really need to focus to speak only Japanese, Why always children can make a lot of progress? Because the society forces them to really speak the language. If you actually avoid, today let's speak English. Here I don't understand. Okay, let's speak English. Watching TV. I don't really understand anything. So switch the language to English. If you're always avoiding to actually really force to speak only Japanese, this is not strict exercises, like just easy exercises. I can always, avoid speaking in Japanese. That's actually not really good exercise. I mean, it doesn't help you at all. So that's why you really need to find a partner or, any friends, any group, community, society, even online, Zoom. It's such an easy period right now. We can meet anyone in the world on Zoom for free, So that's why, anyway, no excuse. We really need to focus to speak only Japanese. That will be the real exercises. Okay, so the final things is actually you don't need to rush that it's what they actually talking everything inside your family. A lot of people say, I really want to understand what my family is talking. I really want to understand what my wife and my wife friends is talking. I don't understand anything. I totally understand. And then you really want to understand everything. And so many people say, I don't really have a passion to speak Japanese very much, but I really want to understand what they are talking. A lot of people say, but you cannot actually improve only listening. If we can improve only listening, everybody actually already understand everything. Look, Japanese anime, Japanese movie is one of the most famous things in the world. a lot of people watching anime. Doesn't mean they really understand everything what they're talking only in Japanese, right? So you improve only listening is impossible. Do you know why? Because you really need to understand the language by deeper understanding, which means if you cannot speak this language, which means you're not really understanding. That's why you cannot speak. So when you cannot speak, which is you're not deeply understand the language, of course, where they are talking super fast native Japanese, you cannot almost understand anything forever. So you cannot improve only listening. That's why you really need to understand how to use this language, which means you need to be a Japanese speaker. And let's say you can say, 日本に住んでます. I'm living in Japan. If you really deeply understand how to say this, 日本に住んでます. I'm living in Japan. Then when you hear the conversation, oh, they are living in Japan. They are living in Tokyo. They are living in Okinawa. Oh, I know this phrase because I can speak. That's the things. Listening skill and speaking skill is really connected. When you cannot speak, which means you're not understanding deeply, you cannot understand the native conversation too. So that's why I understand your desire. You want to understand everything what they're talking. Then please improve your speaking skills. So how was it? So if you like my video, please subscribe my YouTube channel. And also, if you really need a professional help, as I said, native Japanese, yes, they can speak Japanese, doesn't mean they can really teach Japanese language. So if you really need a professional coach, if you really need a professional speaking training, please visit japanlanguagefactory.com, 2 months master course, and you can actually have a free consultation. You can really learn what is the learning structure to start speaking Japanese as soon as possible.